Now let's see if I can remember which save file. Yeah, I hope that's the right one. Yes, that's the right one. Good. It's been about a week since I recorded the last part. The last part actually isn't published yet, and that's because just before I was about to publish it, because I was putting that off and I was busy and had other stuff I needed to do, I noticed something I need to blur. It had already uploaded, and I was like, I'm lazy, I'll just do it in YouTube editor. So I waited for the YouTube editor to process before I publish. Also, the same problem actually happened in part 3. I didn't notice it in part 3, but I thought to check part 3 after I noticed it in part 5. This is part 6, by the way, if I recall correctly. So the cheerleader just died, Kizuna Tomori. Okay. Usually I have some guess when I do Danganronpa as to who killed the person at the start of the investigation. Sometimes you can actually guess who the black is going to be at like the start of the chapter. Or like start of the game. I guess at the start of the game, if you actually remember for who the chapter 2 blackened was going to be, was I didn't actually write it down. I thought the guess was actually Kinji. I know it kind of skips over him in my notes here. Like I say that, like I've Maki listed above. And I think I just miswrote things. So, it's the lawyer, right? Yakamuchi that I thought was going to be the chapter 4 victim, and then I actually rewrote chapter 4 victim on Kinji. I think it was supposed to be chapter 2 blackened. It was supposed to be Kinji. Although my notes are my notes, so they might be correct. If you take my notes literally, though, and don't believe that I actually thought Kinji was going to be a chapter 2 blackened, then I actually have 2 chapter 4 victims written. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense now because of the principle of being fattened for the slaughter, is what I'm going to call it. Kinji is not fattened for the slaughter, or remotely even close, so he's very unlikely to be the blackened in this instance, but that's what it was for reference if I had to pick somebody. So I'll try to, I honestly, even though I had a week to think about it, I honestly have no idea. I'm kind of stumped on this one. So the beginning of the game sort of divided the characters into 2 categories. So you had the pilot. I didn't remember them by their talents, suppose their names, but he's Haruhiko Kobashikawa, or Haru for short. The clown, Ima Satsuki. The surgeon, which is color of the surgeon, Katana Ironi. The maid, I don't remember for absolute certain, but Akane Taira I think was there. The lawyer, of course. There's Kabatsikawa. Kabatsikawa is the pilot. Yamaguchi is the lawyer. Wow, Yamaguchi reminds me of like the Duolingo course for Japanese. If you know what I mean. So he was there. Actually, I don't have him on my list here, but I think wasn't the merchant there? Teruya, the merchant, I think came right outside his door after we heard the body of discovery announcement, which was tacked on to a nighttime announcement. I don't recall exactly, but I think he was there as well. So those guys, the pilot, the clown, the surgeon, the maid, the lawyer, and the merchant, I think that's 6. The main character, who may not necessarily be right, Yuki, thinks they have an alibi because he thinks it's unlikely that they would have murdered Tomori at 9:30, got blood all over them, managed to go back into their room, clean up, and then exit their room when the body announcement happens, by 10, like right after 10. The clown was a little late, but she had a room that was kind of further away. And she has a lot of get-up she has to put on. So I don't know if that's necessarily that important, but that's something that maybe is of some note. But then we had like a second set of characters that you would encounter along the way as you went to look as you're searching for the body. They seem to actually all already know that the body was Tomori's. Now, in Danganronpa proper, it only takes 2 witnesses to discover the body to make it such that a body discovery announcement occurs. So I don't know if all of these guys did it at once or 2, but because they were all already up there, and some of them were, and the policeman, Kinjo, right, Chiruki Kinjo, as well as the exorcist, Mikako, right, Kurokawa. They were both up there, and they were made it part of the group that made agreement among themselves. They don't go outside at nighttime. They were up there right before nighttime was going to happen. So it's a little weird that they were up there, and it suggests that there was a reason that maybe all of them were up there, because they're all up there. They were up there for the same reason. But the 3 characters that did not agree to this or weren't there to witness the agreement were also up there, which would be Rei, the professor. Tomori herself, she was dead up there, but she was up there nonetheless, dead, and Kinji. All together, and they were probably up there for the same reason as the people that's odd that they were up there. And that, I think, lists the amount of... one more character that was up there I didn't mention, but we don't let her slip, is Ayame Hatano, the sprinter, the person whose profile looks like... her chibi looks like Shadow the Hedgehog. She was also up there, and not down in her room at 10. So, those are part of the agreement. That's all that's up there, and that were up there are Kinji, or the policeman, the sprinter, and the exorcist, at various distances away from the body. Mikako being rather far from the body. And then Rei, and the professor, who's Rei Makaru, and the priest were also up there. Okay. Now, I didn't not including the protag, there's 14 characters. The protag was in his room. We know the protag didn't do it because it was a very personal murder. You had to have a narration of him actually doing the stabbing. There were 14. 2 of them got killed at the beginning, in chapter 1. One of them, Tomori, got killed in chapter 2. So that's 3 kills. That's 11 left. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that counts for all 11s. Also, pilot, clown, surgeon, maid, lawyer, and merchant, all downstairs. Police, sprinter, exorcist, professor, and priest, all upstairs. The main character thinks that makes police, sprinter, exorcist, professor, and priest more likely to be the culprit. But the protag could be wrong. It also seems to me like they're more likely to be the culprit as well. I have a suspicion that the protag is correct. Now, there are some subtle principles that tip this a little bit. One I call gender balance, which is when there's a tendency, probably even in fan games, when you write to keep the amount of characters killed between women and men kind of even. So if a woman is the victim, there's a higher chance that the blackened is a man than a woman by like a 51-49%. They could, of course, because we're already balanced, right? Chapter 1 was balanced. It was a man and a woman. Chapter 2... could as allowed to unbalance. Like if chapter 1 was like 2 women or 2 men, we would know that chapter 2 would be like the other way. It would be like if it was 2 women in chapter 1, then there's a woman victim. We know that like the chapter 2 black would have to be a man, right? Because chapter 1 was balanced, though, we get allowed to go off balance for a chapter, so it's not really that strong. Another thing to consider is the first blackened was a man, so the fan creator might find it rather odd if they look back at their stuff and notice that all of the blackens are boys. That's a bit of a weird thing to do. So that actually tips it the other way. So what do you think about all of these senses? Ginger balance really doesn't do anything in this case. Another one is fatten for the slaughter principle, which is basically once you kill a character off, you can't really have them do something, right? You can't display their ultimate talent and like make them a part of the story. So you have to make somebody the part of the story before you kill them off. Especially in the earlier chapters, that makes it so that people that had somewhat of a lot of character focus in that chapter, that you would think would get character focus, are more likely to be the blackened. Especially because you have like a lot of characters at the beginning, and so you have to like carve out, you know, it's like you have to do it, so you gotta do it before they die, and because there's so many characters, well, the previous chapters you had characters to deal with then, so the time that you tend to, that a person gets their character focused tends to be squeezed into the chapter before they die. There's a trend with Danganronpa. But if you remember when I did Blowback, I won't say exact name, but when I did Blowback, I messed up my guess on chapter 2 because I relied too much on fatten for the slaughter. So if I were like in my Blowback mindset right now, erroneously guessing who the blackened is in this chapter, I would have picked Kinji. I would have picked the police guy. But I don't know if I want to make that mistake again. I mean, he was upstairs for some weird reason. Yeah. Odd. He's the only guy that really has a lot of focus, right? Pilot, not really. Got last chapter. The pilot guy's turning into like the Yasuhiro kind of character. Clown, not really. Surgeon, no. Maid, yes, but she's kind of like the Yukari of this game. Lawyer, no. Merchant, no. Sprinter, no. Exorcist, no. So, priest, no. The only the character that seemed to have character focus in this chapter is the policeman, is Kinjo, or Tsurugi Kinjo. So that's interesting. It gives him a slight edge at him being the blackened. But he just kind of does it. We'll see what happens when we do the investigation. And then you just gotta kind of think about it. So, the motive, right? What's really tricky is you go, okay, somebody had a secret they didn't want other people knowing. Now, this is kind of unlike the original Danganronpa, in that these characters do not know that those embarrassing secrets are being broadcast to the world. I say do not know because they don't. We would presume that this game is being broadcast to the world. So even if Monokuma doesn't say that he's going to reveal the secrets to the world, they're going to end up being revealed to the world through the broadcast of the killing game itself. But they don't know that. And it seems to be that all of the secrets are crap. They're not really that substantial, but somebody who has an embarrassing secret may not necessarily know which one about them was written. It's kind of like, I'm trying to think of what I was thinking here. Why certain things don't matter. I forget. There's some train of thought I was going to go down, and I forget what it was. But one thing I do know is that Tomori, we know what secret Tomori picked up, because it was that the merchant, right, wet the bed. It's very reminiscent of Danganronpa 1. So we know that she did not get anybody's embarrassing secret. So killing her to cover up the secret to make sure it doesn't get further than her doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's the weird part. Who would have a really embarrassing secret that wasn't revealed, that we knew wouldn't want to get out? Well, Mikako could, because we had her secret, but she doesn't know we had her secret, and she doesn't know that the secret we got was a joke secret. She could have a real secret that wasn't really going to get out, but she just thought it might, right? So, Mikako is possible. Kinjo accidentally killing somebody, like a police-involved killing in the past, just by the nature of him and his character, could very easily have a secret he doesn't want to got out. So that kind of focuses more on Kinjo a little more. I don't know. So, I guess, objectively, the best guess for the Blackhead right now at the beginning of this investigation is Kinjo. I'm really wary about putting down Kinjo as a guess. I know I put down Kinji as a guess the previous episode. Putting Kinjo down as a guess at the beginning of this one. He's like the one that kind of makes the most sense. But after what happened in Blowback with the second chapter case, my confidence level is not very high. So, would be surprised if I'm wrong. Let's actually investigate and see where that takes me. This might be the wrong extract, we'll see. Made it over and over again. Let's interact with this stuff. Yes. This. There's a piece of cloth that I've never seen before, but that's not what's important. And the cloth is missing a piece. There's a blood stain, or it's covered in blood. I don't know where the two pieces of cloth came from, but the fact that they are two pieces. Are there really two? I don't think there's two. So, to look for two, you look for duo or E. I think it should be just not two pieces, this piece of cloth. It's probably taking the Chinese two out of this. This piece of cloth came from. Again, on YouTube, you probably can't see the Google Translate, so just the Google Translate says two pieces of cloth, but I think it should be this piece of cloth. But the fact that it is covered in blood probably means that it's related to the crime. Although it's a bit burned, it's a piece burned off a corner. It's large enough to cover one human being. Oh. Huh? Why would they cover? So they would carry. So are you saying she was carried in? It's really weird. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to figure out what the implications of this is. This looks like the cloth the criminal used to stop blood from spewing out while stabbing Tomori. Okay, so the idea is this is why they're not like. They didn't have to, so they may not have had to have cleaned up. So the time it would take to get back to their room after committing the murder might be decreased. Or is this bringing in this more suspicion to people that are in their rooms? Tomori shed so much blood, there must have been a lot of blood splattered at the time of the murder. They had to stab her twice, though. But they have, like, why, like, that they stabbed her twice is a suggestion that there was kind of a struggle, right? They had a hard time, like, they didn't quite sneak up on her well, had a hard time, like, pinning her down. That's why there's, like, there's an extraneous wound. It would be hard to believe that they would be able to catch the blood spurting from both of them, because one of them seems like part of the action, but at least. Even in movies, when the neck is damaged, a lot of blood would squirt out. Yes. The Jewish sacrifice principle. Tomori also got stabbed in the neck, so a lot of blood must have splattered out. It seems like the culprit was very well planned to prevent blood spillage. There's also a trail of blood that leads to the entrance. This is getting interesting. Suddenly, I turned the piece of cloth over. I was able to discover things that were hidden by the piece of cloth. Okay, so maybe some source of the fire. A lighter. So I presume that laita is lighter. This, basically, is this a lighter, is what he's saying. It's a cheap, small lighter used to light a cigarette, but it doesn't require a lot of firepower to start a fire. The fact that the lighter is here seems to be related to the traces of fire in the switch room. And that wasn't all. Underneath the piece of cloth was another item, along with the lighter. There is some crumpled paper. Should I unfold it? Kagam. I forgot to bring up my Google Translate stuff. Wow, my start menu is like destroyed. It's like my C drive's on the fritz. Okay. What does kaga mean? Oh, just to that? Okay. So, this is just what is... This, what is that? Is that all this is saying? That's writing, though. Oddly enough, despite this being a Korean fan game, the writing is in Chinese. Not Chinese, Japanese. It's like, they were like trying to make it look like it's a Korean translation of a Japanese game. Like, this is the, it's like, you can, like, read some of the characters on the second line. Kamo. The rest of it, and the very last character is E. The rest of them are too hard to make out, though, in this pixelatedness. I couldn't read the contents properly because it was almost blurred, as we can see. And the original shape of the paper was hard to recognize. There's a blue line on it, though. But I knew the identity of the paper. It was from a notepad, right? It's the secret note that Monokuma gave us 2 days ago as our motivation. Oh, so it's one of the secrets. Furthermore, what is this? Maeda Yuki. So it's Maeda. You're... Let me try to put some spaces between the words here. Did I close my browser? Okay. So, it's my name, right? Yuki Maeda. Might be. So this might be my secret, is what he's saying. Interesting. And maybe that was used to frame him up. This. My secret. This note has my secret written on it. Okay. Why is this at the scene of the incident? Almost all the content has been burned, so I don't know what secret was written. But if it's a secret that's embarrassing to me... What... There are many things. Well, that's kind of a lame translation. Let me break it apart here. Yeah, I guess it's more like there are many things I don't understand. What if the murder happened again this time because of Dongi, which... because of the motive. Not mobile device, motive. Hold on, did Tomori reveal my secret? No, because we know what secret she had, and it was not... unless she was making stuff up. But, I thought that her secret that she got was Teruya Otori's secret. I mean, unless she was making stuff up. But she got it right, though. He really did pee the bed, though, so that suggests that she didn't make it up. What does... I will see. What does this thing have to say? I will see. What is this? This is useless information. Who wants to know this stuff? Is this a disaster? What's the motivation behind this? Shut up, you pea bastard, if you don't sleep with your dad at that age. Antlers, okay. Tomori's secret was... the secret that was chosen by Tomori was Otori's secret. So is there only one possibility left? The Black had received Yuki's secret. The culprit stole my secret. Or just took my secret. Could it be that the culprit set the fire to burn these things and destroy the evidence? Evidence of what? The secret? I mean, you did a really bad job, really bad job at burning a secret. Like, really? This is like way overkill and didn't work. It involved a murder. So, the people who we know whose secret they got, so that's Rei. No, we actually don't know what secret Rei... we just know she read it. We know that Kinjo and Rei read their secrets. We don't know whose secret they had. Right? Did Rei read her secret out loud? Huh. I forget. I forget if she read it out loud or not. I know Kinjo didn't. He just read it and just kind of kept in his head what he read. Rei might have actually revealed what it said. But the curious thing is, if she revealed what it said, we know it's not Yuki's. My secret is big enough to kill someone? That can't be possible. Although I have many embarrassing secrets, there is no way I have a secret that could be a motive for murder. Let's take care of it for now, because we might learn something later. Or let's take note of it. So the bloody piece of cloth was recorded in your student handbook. You can check it out in the truth bullet menu. And the lighter has been recorded in the notebook. Okay. And the secret note was written in the notebook. And the secret note... okay. Sweet. Yeah, this is what I was worried about a while ago. Oh. There's a long line stretching along the wall of the switch room. This is a electrical line, I presume. Plus it's cut in the middle. It's not like it was cut with a knife. It's a burn mark. Oh, so it's like a rope? It's wet there. Switch rooms, fire traces, and fire lines. There's no way there's no relationship. Or electrical lines. Okay. So did someone start a fire in the switch room through a fuse? Or through an electrical line? Who on earth and why? It's likely that the culprit did it, but I don't know the circumstances. Electrical fire, right? Well, let's try to break it apart here. Has been recorded in the notebook. You can look at the truth bullet menu. Huh. Tadamon might be a typo because I can't translate that, but fuse or something. Okay, I actually don't understand that one, but whatever. Why whatever in a minute. Well, I do the next episode. It's like an instrument panel that controls something. Most noticeable of the scene of the incident is the window is broken. You mean the screen? Yeah, it was dark, so I didn't know much, but I could see the inside of the power room through the glass window of the switch room. When I asked about the glass window on the wall next to the power room, it turned out to be a window to the switch room. Or when I looked at it. But this window is broken. Did the criminal break the window to escape after killing Tomori? The blood goes the other way, though. There is a possibility. If you break this window and go out, you will come out towards the huge machine. And if you go straight from there, there's a door leading to the hallway on the first floor. First floor? You mean the second floor? Probably. But I don't know if I was going straight out into the hallway. But if I was going out of the power room anyway, so was there a need to break the window? Yeah, it have to be like the specific, so you like wait till someone's coming, you wait till they get like around to the door to the switch room. But then even still, if you broke the window, it would make a big window breaking sound, so they know what you did. They like run, right? If you think about it, if there's someone in the entrance of the power room, whether through the switch room entrance or through the window, it would only be a matter of time before they were discovered. Also, it would have been noticeable because the sound of the window breaking. Wow, the protagonist thinks just like me. Let's keep in mind that the window would not have been broken for no reason. Broken window has been added to the notebook. Okay. Electrical wire, the fuse. Huh. What kind of machine is this? Coin. Unfortunately, we cannot examine the other machine because and get the other. Oh, need a coin for either one. Okay. The fuse. Okay. Wire along the wall of the switch room. Let's talk to the low quality character here. Wow, this is absolutely no joke. Yes, I still smell it burning. But since this is an important place, didn't you say it would be a big deal if it got damaged? It's such a mess, but is it going to be okay? Because this place got damaged and it was important? Let's not worry about that. Let's worry about that later and start investigating first. Okay. Well, he's like, wow, this place got damaged. Yeah, someone's body got damaged. So that it was no longer alive. Okay, what's this nonsense here? What is this? Is something broken? Broken flashlights. Both of them. Flashlights. The two broken flashlights here could be the flashlights used by Tomori and the criminal. No blood on them. The fact that they haven't had a flashlight meant that it was necessary to enter the dark. It was necessary in order to enter the dark switch room. Then somehow Tomori and the criminal came into the switch room with flashlights. But why were they broken? Was there a reason to break them? Broken flashlights are according to the notebook. You can check it out in the truth bowl. Yeah, the plan was probably to make it so that Tomori couldn't see. That also would have made it so that the culprit couldn't see, but the culprit probably had some plan, like, they knew like fire would go off or something, and then they could see, and they were ready when that happened. So, okay, the lantern, we could probably examine it, but it probably doesn't do anything for us. Since there's no light in the switch room, we have no choice but to rely on a faint light from a lamp brought from the warehouse for the investigation. Monokuma file. The victim was Tomori Kizuna. The estimated time of death was approximately 9:30. She was found in the switch room of the power room on the second floor. There was a long, torn wound on her abdomen, and hemorrhage from it was significant. The definitive cause of death was esophageal puncture by a kitchen knife, because apparently the esophagus puncture kills you. Maeda. Inori. Is the body been autopsied? Yes. I'm gonna take care of this, so I'm gonna work hard. Oh. What do you mean? Let's try to break this apart here. Because I actually didn't get it clear whether or not she's going to autopsy it, or she has not autopsied it. Whoops. Yeah, what do you mean you gave it to me? I guess, but I don't know what that means. And she says, what's Kaseyo mean? I have something to check and I'm going so, okay. Well, hold on. He said he had something to check and was going somewhere. But who was it? Had something to... I don't see a name in here. Maki. Who is Maki? What? Maki, Kinjo, and I. Okay, so Kinjo is the... I'm trying to remember who Maki... Oh, okay. Okay, for Maki, Kinjo and I did the autopsy together, but this time I have to do it alone. Okay. Okay, so I get it. Okay, so the whole conversation about it is Kinjo left it to me. Because he said he had to go somewhere. Okay. What is he checking? By the way, how about an autopsy? What'd you find, or what'd you do? What should I say? It's a really terrible amount of bleeding. Humans die from excessive bleeding when the amount of blood flows out, but this is not that amount. About 1/3 of the blood flows out. But this is not 1/3, huh? Is it more or less? It's surprising that level of blood came out. The wound on the neck is obviously fatal, but it must have coagulated to some extent, and the amount of bleeding should gradually decrease after the heart stops. That means there's some massive bleeding. Now I cannot confirm this based on my own opinion. Although it is rare, the higher blood pressure, the greater the amount of bleeding. In short, there are individual differences in the amount you bleed. Anyway, this much bleeding means that it took quite a while for her to die. So he's saying, okay, so she's saying that not quite 1/3 came out, or, oh dear. Let's try to get to the conclusion. Hopefully I can get it from the conclusion. Thanks. Tomori would have died while feeling truly terrible pain. Who on earth is the culprit of such a horrific murder? Is there a culprit among us in this case as well? Do we have a doubt to criticize each other again like we did during the murder of like we did Higa, which is the during Higa. Well, I kind of get the point of that, right? Higa was the murderer last time. I think I have to do that. I know it's painful, but I don't want it. There's nothing else we can do, basically. But if we don't do it, we have no choice but to die. Yes, I know. I'm sorry for... Okay. If for some reason Google Translate is like, I'm sorry for using it so much, I'll eat it with my heart. Which doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry for bothering you. I will take this seriously. There we go. I don't really get that. So, his point was that her point was that it was slow. But was it slow because it was just exactly the right amount of blood? So, like, if you would have died really fast, there would have been extra. Like, 1/3 of the blood had flowed out, and then they would just keep going. Or I don't know. I don't get the point. As a result of the autopsy, what was found was an abnormal amount of bleeding greater than that of the general population. Okay, so it's like she took a lot of aspirin or something like that. Or something that prevents clotting. The time of death matches that of the Monokuma file. That alone is helpful enough information. Thank you, Inori. You're welcome, Maeda-san. Then I didn't miss anything. I guess so I won't miss anything. I'll continue to investigate Tomori. Inori must be having a hard time, but she is steadfastly fighting this hopeless situation. I have to cheer her up and find out the truth. Or just have to find out the truth. Inori's autopsy results are recording in a notebook. Okay. Maybe if I... Poor Inori. That was really painful. A war that can't even ease the pain of an injured person. Basically, I can't even ease the pain of an injured person. No, you can't be weak. For Tomori's sake, you must find the culprit. So let's do our best, Maeda. Yeah, I didn't get it. Oh well. Body itself. Tomori. She clearly had a tendency to be a bit partial to others and try to attract men. And she may have been a self-indulgent person. But part of her also wanted to hang out with us, and in the end she barely gave her permission. Not only that, even though she was bitter, Tomori is always energetic, and when Tomori was around, the tension went up even more. Or the energy went up even more. And she was a courageous child who brought energy to everyone, whether in a good or a bad way. Why is it like this? Or why is it like that? It's like, why is it like this, basically, is what that line was. There's no time to be sad now. I have to research and find out what I can. It's like this with Maki also. Sorry, Tamori, I'm going to touch your body. Tamari's body looked horrendous. Her entire body was covered in blood, and as written in the Monokuma file, there were stab wounds on the stomach and neck. Blood was still leaking out little by little from the wound, so it was filled with a bloody smell. Right, she's like not coagulating. The knife stabbed in the neck must have been the weapon. It seems that the criminal did not dispose of the weapon, or there was no need to dispose of it. But the kitchen knife would not have been anywhere other than the kitchen. Is it true the kitchen knife was brought from the kitchen? Like, I think Chupong is knife. I need to go to the kitchen sometime. And one more question arises from Tamori's body. The double wound, or the second wound. Ipeng Songcha. The killer appears to have killed Tamori by stabbing her in the neck. The Monokuma file also said that the fatal wound was the wound to the neck. So what is the stomach wound? Conceivable possibilities that she was stabbed in the stomach and did not die immediately, so she was stabbed in the neck as part of the attack. Either the criminal is a psychopath with a taste for stabbing people. I don't know the details since I don't have any specialized knowledge, but I think Kinjo would know something. If I were the culprit, I would do anything to increase the wound unnecessarily and leave a trace. But I think there must be a reason for the wound to the stomach. So the stomach wound. Stomach wound has been recorded in the notebook. Okay, you can check them out. Or the handbook, you can check them out in the Tooth Bullets menu. Is there anything else to be found in the body? Or on the body? Kind of think of it, the time Tamori died was around 9:30 p.m. Then the person without an alibi for this time is the prime suspect. I'll have to ask other kids to find out about this. Okay, so does that change our dialogue with, Oops. Miss Inori. What about this guy asking for an alibi? Nope. Nope, we don't. Okay, that doesn't change our dialogue with him. These bloodstains probably do something here. Now we can't investigate why there's bloodstains like going outside the... trailing outside through the front entrance. This bloodstain. What is this? Like, Tamari's body is clearly located deep into the switch room, and blood marks extend from the entrance toward the power room. As if the culprit left out the entrance. Strange, there's no bloodstains in the power in the power room. Did the criminal kill Tamori and then hurriedly just leave? No, wait a minute. Bloodstains at the entrance mean that he or she went out through the switch room entrance. Then why was the window broken? Did someone break the window and get out? Moreover, there were bloodstains all the way to the switch room entrance, but no blood in the power room, right? Just end at the door. Did they just clean up the blood stains in the power room? What happened here? Recorded blood stains at the entrance in the handbook. First, let's investigate the switch room. Oh. Not done investigating the switch room yet? Traces of blood leading toward the entrance. If there are traces left by the criminal who stabbed Tamori, it means the criminal went out toward the entrance, but there is actually no trace of blood outside the window. The window outside. The window is broken, so I don't know what happened. Okay. Or investigate this. There's a piece of cloth covered in blood. I don't know where the piece of cloth was, but judging from the amount of blood, it seems like it was something the criminal used to kill Tamora to prevent blood from splattering. Also, if you turn the piece of cloth over, you'll find a small lighter and a half-burnt note. Perhaps the lighter was used to start the fire and the note was the motive. But yeah, but we already have, like, broken electrical wires. The problem is that the note contains my secret. Why is my secret at the scene of the crime? Let's check the, like, backside here. Oh, what is this? Chromosomes! When they're about ready to divide. At first, I thought it was just blood splatter, but then I looked closely, it seemed like blood was writing something. Well, this is definitely not 11037. Or anyone's name, really. It's just XXXX. XGA 4 gay, which is 4 X's. No. X 3 X's. And a bigger X. Or 3 X's. Huh. What on earth is this? Maeda. That's a is that a dying message? A dying message? It's something. Is this something from a mystery novel? You're not very self-aware, are you? It's not something that it only exists in fiction. In reality, there are many cases where victims leave clues about the criminal just before they die. And then, this is a clue that about the culprit that Tamori left us right before she died. I'm not a former investigator, so I can't confirm this. The blood could have accidentally splattered like that in X's, but given the situation, is most likely a dying message. Even if you don't know what it means, wouldn't it be a good idea to check it? Check it how? Yes, that would be better. Or that would be good. Tamori's last message to us. Little x, little x, little x, big X. XXXX. What does this mean? Well, if you look at it the other way, it's big X first instead of big X last. What? I should be able to figure out what that is, like, immediately, I feel like. I feel like that's just, like, a gimme, and it's not. I actually don't know what that is. There might be a Korean... So, what in Hangul looks like X's? I can't really think of anything. Huh. Yeah, does anybody's name in Hangul... Let's look at pictures of the names and see if any of these names in Hangul look like X's. It's obviously for Korean people, right? So it's like... It's a Hangul thing. It's not an English thing. Okay, can I leave now? Yes, I can. Okay. Oh. What's her face? Hatano. What are you doing? Why are you here? Ah, Maeda. You came out now. Do you know what that is? What is that, a lump of burnt charcoal? Isn't that strange? When we all gathered in front of the power room earlier, there wasn't anything like that in the corner. Oh, it just suddenly appeared during the investigation. That's right, there's no way I wouldn't have noticed something sticking out like that. Should we go check on what it is? Well, the protagonist had the plot armor. Hatano, why did she trip and fall? Ah, I got a face full of hot coals. Oh dear. If that's deep, that's a problem. Hatano, why blood? Hatano, who was walking to inspect the charred object, suddenly grabbed her leg and started bleeding. The flesh on the back of Hatano's left thigh was sharply cut and a large amount of blood was flowing out. Hatano! Well, someone take their shirt off and wrap it around. What are you doing? I heard Ayame-chan screaming. Ayame-chan. Where? Someone? Why? What is that cut? First, call Inori, quickly. I got it. Hatano, are you okay? Don't come near me. What? What? There's an ankle wire. A wire? Yeah. When I looked closely at the spot where Hatano fell, I was able to find a sharp wire that was hard to see at the bottom. At least I noticed it because of Hatano's blood, but it was so stretched out that it was hard to see with the naked eye. What is it, someone set up a trap using a burnt object as bait? But why? Like, what good would that do? No. What should I do now? I guess starting with Hatano. If Inori is a surgeon, I don't know what to do. Or just Inori is a surgeon, I don't know what to do. I brought, Inori. Stop her. Don't let her get tripped. What's going on? Inori, she was caught in a wire trap. Can we not cure her or not help her? Wire trap? Why is that? I'll take a look at her condition first. Where's the wire, though? Hanato, what is it? Kanata, but is there a tool that can treat it? Currently, nurse office is locked and there's no medical tools anywhere. That's right. That amount of bleeding is bigger than I thought. I have to do something quickly. Be careful, there's a wire there. Someone wanted to waste some time, make a distraction. Based on Inori's judgment, Hatano took Inori somewhere. Or Inori. Inori took Hatano somewhere. Is she gonna be okay? a life-threatening leg injury to a track and field athlete. Let's hope it's just a scratch. Hatano is worried, but the class trial is just around the corner. We haven't found much out. What kind of guy is the culprit? Not only did he kill Tamori, but even Hatano. What exactly is that wire? Did the criminal install it in the first place? If you do it that way, it's an indiscriminate attack against a completely unspecified target. And why would it like trap her on the thigh? That's on the back side of the thigh. It's a weird place the wire trap to do it. Like, you would think it would get you in the front if you were running forwards. I don't know why it's the back side. I don't have time to go into detail, so I've only investigated the switch room yet. So let's quickly investigate other places as well. First of all, this. Hatano was injured while trying to investigate this. It's a charred item. It's a flashlight. The flashlight is pitch black. There are traces of fire in the switch room as well. So was the flashlight that got caught in the switch room fire, which would be a third flashlight? No. If it was a flashlight, it was already in the switch room. Was it already in the switch room? There are two flashlights that were broken. Then what is this flashlight and who used it? Wire trap is now recording the notebook, and Hatano's injuries, and the third flashlight. Wire trap and Hatano's injuries are separate things. Huh. Next. Maeda-kun. Ayame-chan. Are you okay? What should I do? So Ayame... Calm down, Tyra. I'm confused, but it's a class trial. We need to focus on the investigation. A friend got hit. It's not that easy is it that easy to investigate? I'm sorry, Maeda-kun. It's not my business to be angry at Maeda-kun. It's okay, I understand. Just calm down first. I have something to ask you, Tyra. What? Not only you, but also Kinjo and Hatano. We're not in the dormitory. Oh, so she was up top? Okay. Let me correct my notes here. So Maid was on the upper floor then. Okay. Not only you, but also Kinjo and Hatano were not in the dormitory. So Kurukawa, right? Hatano, Kurukawa, and Kinjo were not in the dormitory at the time of late night broadcast. Why weren't you in the student dormitory even though it was late night at the time? That's right. Yeah, I was planning to go back since there was a late night rule. At 9 o'clock, I was doing some cooking research in the kitchen. Cooking? Isn't the meals already ready? Aren't the meals already ready? Yes, that's right, but I felt like I was lacking somewhere. Since there are a lot of ingredients, I thought I could make something myself. But I made a mistake while putting the frying batter on, and the oil splattered on my clothes. I had to go to And then it's like, I guess I would have had to gone to bed, but I couldn't turn on the washing machine, so I went to wash my clothes in the bathroom. Or something. This is really suspicious. Tyra, you're sounding really suspicious, because, like, this is really contrived. It's complicated. That's right. Tyra was alone at that time. You were alone at that time? Yes. Ayame-san seemed to have gone for training. I actually stayed for a while before going to bed. Then you discovered the incident. So she was training with Ayame after she decided to try to wash her clothes in the bathroom or something. Kazuna-chan, I feel so sorry. Thank you for talking to me. Let's make sure to find out who the culprit is. So basically, Yame and Tyra were just working out. Is that okay? Let's do our best. That's what they're claiming. Tyra's account, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but okay. Maeda, is Hatano okay? If you're so worried... She... Huh? Hatano. Well, I guess he just basically said she has a problem with her leg. She got hurt trying to investigate? I can't forget the culprit who did something like that. Let's further investigate on Hatano's part. Okay, there's not much time left, so let's hurry. Okay, so he doesn't have anything to say. You, sir. Maeda, something happened earlier. Did something happen earlier? I heard Inori was leaving the power room while supporting Hatano. Yes. I explained to Kinjo what just happened. What? A wire trap? I still don't know why the culprit installed such a thing. Wasn't the culprit just targeting Tomori? If he still did something to target Hatano, that's just additional crimes. No, maybe not. Maybe it's not that. How do you know? If you look closely at the circumstances of the incident, you will feel a bit of a sense of discomfort in the wire trap. What feeling of discomfort? I'll tell you the details of the class trial. I have to do some research here now. Mr. Point Man. After saying that, Kinjo looked ahead again. What Kinjo was investigating was the glass, right? Piece of broken glass in the switch room. Yes. It's strange, too. How is it strange? The shape of the broken fragments, the temperature and direction in which the fragments splattered. Right, it wasn't like you just covered the fire somehow. Can you explain it to me, basically? Can I also investigate this? Be careful not to damage it. The fragments were scattered on the floor, broken into several pieces, and the darkness of the switch room could be felt a little inside. Okay. Also, perhaps because of the fire, the debris are quite hot. What's strange? I don't even know what's going on at the time. I don't know what was going on at the time of the incident in the first place. Now I think about it, wasn't Keen in the dormitory when the late night information was broadcast? Or was he not, right? It was Kinji who created the late night time rule. Come to think of it, Maeda wasn't there at the time. This is Kinji talking. It wasn't just Maeda, everyone was there except Hatano, Taira, Hatano, Kurokawa, Yuhara, Mikaru. What happened? There are traces of this fire and why the power room is like this. Yes, I'll let you know too. Okay, finally get the story. I'll like to explain the situation to everyone again during the class trial. First of all, the other guys don't know, but the reason I wasn't in the dormitory at the time was because I discovered something. What happened? At 9 p.m., I finished my school investigation, was about to go back to the dormitory when I heard Hatano shouting. Okay. So the sprinter was shouting. She said there was a fire in the power room. When I heard that, I hurried to the school floor, or the second floor, and met Hatano there. Mekaru, the professor, and Yuhara, the priest there. Okay, so Rei, Kinji, and Hatano. Why were Rei and Kinji there? I don't know. At the time, Tsurugi, at the time, the smoke from the switch room was leaking into the hallway, and we quickly grabbed the fire extinguisher in the hallway and went in to extinguish the fire. And so all four of you did, right? I was going to the entrance of the switch room, that is, the corner of the power room, and turned off the light. I turned on the light, when I suddenly heard a clanging sound coming from the other side. What? That's broken glass. You four were together when you heard the sound? Yes. Kinjo, me, Hatano, Mekaru, and Yuhara were near the entrance of the switch room. So you had a flashlight or something. There was a lot of smoke, but we were close enough to check on each other. Or see each other. I see. Then what I can think of is... the culprit is in the switch room and broke the window to escape. And you didn't see anyone besides you? It might have broke for a different... window might have broke for a different reason, though. Like heat or something. But... yeah, because this sounds like it gives an alibi to Kinjo, Rei, Kinji, and Hatano, right? Sprinter, priest, professor, and police. But it may not, because it might be intentionally delayed trick with the electrical system to make it so a window would break when they ran in, right? But I couldn't see anything because there was so much smoke. Wait a minute. But Taira and Kurokawa weren't together at that point. Or weren't here at that point. Because those are also the guys, the people upstairs, okay. I don't like cutting horses' waists. I'll tell you soon. Oh. Anyway, so I extinguished the fire near the entrance to the switch room, and I and Hatano went inside. Okay, so I are wrong, Hatano wrong, Mekaru. Okay, so Hatano, Mekaru. So Kinji did not go. So Yuhara did not go in. He stayed outside. Okay. Tamori's body. Or Tamori was found dead. At that moment, a body discovery broadcast came on, and Taira and Kurokawa were the first to come to the power room after hearing the broadcast. Okay, so Akane and she wasn't with. Akane was apparently not with Hatano. Although she said she went to work out with Hatano. Hatano found the smoke in the power room first. Tyra wasn't with her then. Interesting. I don't know what they did before that. That's right. Okay, and Tyra said she was working out. Or, no. Ayame was... Well, the conversation with Tyra was very unclear. Like, it didn't really get translated well. I thought that it would be... She was washing her shirt or washing her clothes in the bathroom. And then, like, somehow she ended up working out with Ayame. It didn't make any sense, because it didn't say, like, Ayame went and saw her in the bathroom. Like, hey, come with me. Nothing like that seemed to happen. So I guess she really was in the bathroom. But it would be on the first floor, though. And the bathroom's, like, in the residential part. So, that's the bathroom she would have gone to. The other one was in the school part, but... I guess she ran upstairs as opposed to waiting for everyone to convene in the dormitory. Is that right? I still haven't figured out Tyra yet. So, Yuhara went with you was together with you when you approached the entrance, but Yuhara didn't check the body, or didn't see the body. Yuhara heard me tell him to check the backside where the window was broken and went back to the other side. Okay, so you told Yuhara go to the other side of the switch room, and he did. They say there wasn't a big... There weren't any... Wait. They say there wasn't a big harvest. What is this word? That's not harvest. Yeah, it is harvest. What? I guess results. There weren't any results. Tyra and Kurokawa came after listening to the broadcast. After that, the rest of the dormitory, including me, came. Okay, so the overall development of the incident is roughly... roughly. But something is suspicious. To be honest, there are more than one suspicious person. Maeda, since there is not much time left, I'll find out what Tyra and Kurokawa did before the broadcast of the discovery of the body. Or will you do it? It's like a question, right? Are you suspicious of them? Well, those two don't have an alibi. Then please, I need to examine the glass window more. Oh, wait. Is it okay if I just have one more question? I heard the whole situation from you, but I still don't know why these glass shards make me or you feel uncomfortable. To put it simply, it's broken so cleanly. Moreover, the structure of the window is strange. Look, even though the glass is broken enough for a body to pass through, the power room light barely enters the switch room. I don't know what principle the room was made of, but if it was this airtight when the fire broke out, the flames would have spread outside the power room. Would not have spread outside the power room as much as expected. Right, so that window wasn't really a window, it was like a mirror, is what you're saying? Is that your discomfort? I don't have time, so I can't explain in detail here. I'll tell you during the class trial. First, investigate the alibis of the two people I mentioned earlier. Got it. I heard an explanation from Kinjo, but I didn't notice anything strange. Is there something that super high school level police officer can see that I can't? Anyway, we'll find out when the class trial takes place. For now, another investigation comes first. In his account, to record in the notebook, and glass fragments. Yeah, it's weird. You would think light from the power room would penetrate through that window into the switch room, but it doesn't, which indicates it's not a window, right? And it's really just a mirror of some kind. Interesting. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Okay, I need to get her alibi now. I guess her dialogue will change. Tyra? Ayame-chan. Are you okay? No, her dialogue does not change. Okay. So you need to talk to Mikako and get her alibi. Tomori. I'm really sorry about Tomori, is what he's saying. Yes, that's right. As soon as she opened her heart to us, she just disappears like this. Opened up her heart? Now that I think about it, you already said that. You weren't with us. After our persuasion, we were able to move Tomori's heart. I don't mean to insult the dead, but honestly, I don't believe it. Yuhara? Also? Yuhara also? Akane... Mekaru said the same thing. Although she is a bit harsh and biased, she is fundamentally a good girl. She is fundamentally good. No. I can feel it, because I have been doing missionary work for others for many years. I've only known her for about a week or so, but Tomori's nature is a bit ugly. Kinju... I felt hesitation when leaving Kinju, but I couldn't believe that he didn't care about his pride enough to... that she didn't care about her pride enough to return to you guys. Or she didn't care about her pride enough that she would to return to you guys. Kind of an awkward, misplaced modifier-like sentence. Of course, it's just my guess, but if she actually behaved like that to you guys, it would be like that, or whatever. Don't worry about it. Yuhara. I know that's not the case now, but even Yuhara can think about it again. Can't Yuhara think about it again? If you're with everybody... Don't talk about that. I won't change what I've decided last time. Rest assured, I don't mean to ignore and criticize you like Mikaru did. I plan to interact as much as possible, so don't be too upset. For now, let's overcome the crises right in front of us. Oh, okay, Yuhara. The laptop, which I'm not going to come into play probably until the next chapter. If you have a computer and you can access the internet, you can access the internet, but if we have a computer, we could access the internet, you could check the current situation and even request rescue, but it doesn't even turn on. If we had a computer that could access the internet. Okay, this guy. Over there, Maeda. Kasigi, whatever that means. Google Translate is not helpful there. Why, Otori? I'm sorry, it might be my fault that Tomori died. What are you talking about? Calm down and tell me. That's right, now that I think about it, something suddenly comes to mind. It was the second day. I think it was the first evening we had breakfast together. These days, I've been appraising items at the antique store before midnight. The next day, as soon as I woke up, I immediately went to the antique store and checked the number of items. Well, the antique store is... Is the antique store that good? I understand because you're a merchant. There's that too. Why weren't many of the items used in the crime procured from the antique shops? Weren't? Why not? Why were? When Maki died. I thought all of them were. I was worried that something like that would happen again. Okay, so the items that to commit Maki's murder were in the antique shop. I was worried that might happen again, so I looked at the items every day and completely memorized the types and locations. Anyway, so I looked at the items in the evening of the second day, and as soon as I woke up the next day, I went to the antique store again. Well, some things are missing. Oh, what were they? That's the problem. At the time, I hadn't properly checked all the items, so I can't remember what was missing. I'm sure something was missing. Tori, the theory is that my theory, your theory is that an item disappeared. The items in the switch room, the fuse, the lighter, the flashlight, all of these were items that disappeared at that time. That means the culprit prepared the tools early on. So after the second time they ate breakfast. I don't know that much about that, but what is certain is that the time when the tools disappeared was late at night on the second day. Late nighttime? But at that point, the only ones walking around late at night were Mekaru, Yuharu, and Tomori, weren't they? Who weren't with us? Maybe. I mean, if today, the day that the body was discovered as a precedent, no one's following the rules. That's what I heard. Then are one of those three the culprits? No, Tomori's already dead. Then it must be one Mekaru Yuharu are the culprits. My memory for things is clear. Well, it's still too early to make any conclusions. I think that's a good reference. Thank you, Otori. Can I ask you one question? So midnight probably is not midnight, it's probably nighttime. The wire that just appeared, the Hatano, injured Hatano was also taken from the antique store? Hatano was hurt. What are you talking about? Oh, you don't know? The criminal had set up a wire trap in front of the switch room just now. Hatano got caught in it and hurt her leg. A wire trap? Was it? Was that why Hatano went out earlier? And Nori went out together? Hatano and Inori went out together? The criminal seems to be more cunning than I thought. I haven't seen it, but I think the flax wire is not from the antique store. The only things that disappeared at the time were the fuse, the lighter, and the flashlights. I guess it's not unreasonable. But that is probably not the case, since it has not disappeared. Huh. Yes, anyway, thanks for the clue. I'm glad to help. Let's do our best to find the culprit. Oh, we have to do it, otherwise we die. Chook! Which means die. Okay, Otori's account. That's it? Zzz, zzz. The headmaster announces that I'm on the verge of drowsiness. It's already approaching midnight. Let's finish this right away. Everyone, please gather at the door with the red carpet on the school district floor. The class trial's about to begin, but I'm really sleepy. I might fall asleep. Bow, bow, bow. It's finally time, and I haven't been able to properly research it yet. Or investigate yet. I was only able to investigate the power room and the switch room. After all, there was Hatano's incident in the middle, and that there wasn't enough time. But if I fool around here, Monokuma will kill me. This is no joke. Let's go. We have to figure out the culprit somehow with the information we have gathered so far. I'm not the only one who investigated. If we put everyone's heads together, we can definitely get through it like last time. Here we go. Ah, Maeda. Hatano, are you okay? First of all, I gave first aid, but all I did was apply pressure to stop the bleeding using a bandage. That I gave you? No. But it's already time. I have to go to the court. We have to go to court. Yes, I heard it too. I was just returning to the power room after receiving first aid from Inori to help with the investigation a little more. There was nothing, and then I couldn't do anything. Don't overdo it. Are your legs okay? Or is your leg okay? Atano? It's not okay. Maeda. Atano's leg. Eong. Why, Inori? My left hind thigh tendon was split. I may never be able to walk. What? Okay, so Hanato's tendon was cut, unluckily. I don't know what will happen if I perform surgery right away, but the school might not or might have the equipment to perform. She doesn't know, has the equipment to perform such a major surgery. Wait a minute, what is that? Cannot even walk, let alone run? Actually, I can't feel anything below my thigh right now. I can't even stand without Inori's support. This is absurd. It makes no sense. Hatano was an athlete. It's not okay for her to lose her talent like this. Or is okay? I'm sorry. If only I were a doctor who could heal injuries of this magnitude in an instant. Well, you just need Curie syndrome. Stop it. It's not like it's not your fault. It's not something Maeda would be so upset about, or should be so upset about. Is the class trial first now? From now on, even if my legs are fine, if you fail the class trial, your life will be lost. Don't worry about my legs later. Or my leg. So for now, it's enough for Inori to support me. Hatano. Although she was trying to pretend to be calm, I could feel Hatano's body trembling slightly. She herself must be the most desperate. It would be shocking for an ordinary person to be able to be unable to walk forward. But what happened to Hatano, who mainly uses her legs? Nevertheless, I'm trying to overcome the class trial for everyone. Starting with only a strong mental strength. Okay, you're right. If you die, everything will end. Let's go to the court quickly. Everyone will be waiting. Yes. I mean, if you cut one tendon, you can't just sew it on, and then things get tight. But eventually, in time span much longer it takes to heal a bone, it'll heal up. If you don't, what happens is the muscle, I'm not really well versed in this, I believe the muscle attached to the tendon will atrophy. And I'm not sure what the mechanism is for that. So you kind of, the muscle that gets attached is to kind of waste away if you don't reattach the tendon right away. Can't believe I'm coming back here. I remember when Kyoka-chan died. I hoped something like this would never happen again. Hatano, is your leg okay? No. There's no problem at all. Inori gave me first aid, so I'll get better soon. For the time being, it's enough for Inori to support me. Matano. That's right, I'm really glad. I can face the trial with peace of mind. Trial, class trial. Transform to class trial mode. I go into the trial with peace of mind! Why did you come out? Mayuki said, but Kurukawa, where is she? Kurukawa? Oh, now I think about it, I don't see Kurukawa. Mikako-chan? Now I think about it, I haven't seen her since I was investigating. Where'd she go? I'm talking about the Exorcist here. She disappeared for this time? She disappeared this time? That's right, is Kurukawa the culprit? I have no idea what she's saying. Kurukawa the culprit? Or it's like, what, Kurukawa the culprit? Something like that. It's okay. It's not okay to make hasty judgments. Since she didn't appear, could there be some problem?
Hello, everyone is gathered. This time I was kind enough to come to the entrance. I'm trying to ease your tension with face to face. I'm really nice, or amn't I nice?
So, can we just go down like last time?
It's kind of sad that you didn't react at all.
Oh, wait a minute. Why is it what does it mean that everyone is gathered together? One is not. Where did Mikako Kurukawa go?
Oh, didn't come? That woman really isn't here? Something like that. I'm annoyed. Who dares to skip class? Did she dare to skip class? Just wait, I'll bring her now.
But really, what is that woman doing? What is that makes her late? If she's late, she could die. I helped Hatano with that injured leg, but she lacks grit. She looks like she has nothing but bones. I need to give her some training. What in the world? But does it mean that Kurukawa is really the culprit? Why are Kobashi-kawa, why is Kobashi-kawa like that? Why are you like that, Koboshikawa? Kirukawa is not that type of person.
Not that kind of person?
You guys look like... Or... Did... Look like you were gonna kill from the beginning? Or she looked like? That's it. Oh. I guess it was, yeah, basically, did any of you guys look like you were going to kill from the beginning? You should never judge people just by looking from the outside. What we know about each other is what we've only been together is that we've only been together for a week or so, or is from only being together for a week or so. Still. And then Ray's like, what is strange? Aren't there people who always tackle my words? Tomori often did that, but that bitch is dead. Hey maid, why are you so quiet? I thought you would be the first to protest. Me? Sorry, did I hear wrong? Tomori, is Tomori okay? Oh, no. Tyra okay? Come to think of it, you look a little down. No, I just have something to think about. Ya e babuya. Idiot. The class trial is about to start, so it's strange. It's strange that you're so excited. Idiot. Why am I why an idiot? But it is strange. Kurokawa disappeared. It's worth paying attention to as the main suspect. Huh? Kinju? I can't confirm it yet, but I've picked out a few suspicious characters while investigating. Kurokawa is one of them, right? Kurokawa, why? Okay, so she's a red herring. Let's talk about that at the class trial. We'll have to discuss it there a little bit. We could discuss it there a little better. That's right, but maybe it'll be something about Kurokawa will be there. What? We'll discuss Kurokawa at the beginning of the class trial or something like that.
Everyone has waited for a long time.
Everyone has been brought. Mikako-chan.
Hurry up and go in. Since it's your first time, I'll give you special attention today. But next time I'll punish you without any harsh words. Finally, everyone is here. Just like last time, we'll go down first. So take the elevator down.
Kurokawa. What happened? I haven't seen you since the investigation, or the start of it. What are you doing? I don't... I mean, what Google Translate says, I don't think I came here to investigate the case. But... Did you come here to investigate the case? That doesn't make any sense. It's probably something like, did you not come here to investigate the case? That girl doesn't seem to have any intention of opening up. Why don't you leave the bitch alone and go down? But if you want to go, it doesn't matter if you don't come. Or if you don't want to go, or what? Kurokawa. After the trial, I'll tell you. Fishy. Or suspicious. Sussy. Okay, if you are the criminal, you will be alive when the trial is over. Right, like, if you're the blackened, you either die or everyone else besides you dies. So there's no way for, like, you to talk to them. Either way, it turns out. But, you know, like, Kurokawa doesn't want them to know that, and that can't be possible. Right, Kurokawa? Kurokawa... What's the reason Kurokawa was late? Everyone will find out everything of the class trial, even if you don't like it. I want to prevent the second class trial at all costs. I wanted to prevent the second class trial at all costs. What happened is truly mind-boggling. Let's skip the first trial first. Let's get to the trial first and then talk about what happens next. For now, erase all other thoughts and think about surviving the trial in front of you. Kinjo is right. There's no time to think about anything else right now. We have survived somehow. We are once again at the crossroads of life and death. Okay, let's calm down and go. We can do it. We will be able to find the culprit. Yes, you are not alone. Everyone is here. I really hate having to suspect someone again and frame them as the criminal, but I have no choice but to do it. I have no choice but to face the class trial again. Okay. Let's go through the profiles here. So, who I did the free time events with. First we have Tyra, right? Where is you? Yeah, Connie Tyra. So this is just her first page. We just have one page for her, I believe. And then we have Kinji. So it's the priest. First page. Second page, which is kind of long. Third page. Okay. I stopped on his second page for kind of a short. So, second page, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Third page, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Okay. And then Mikako. What's her last name? Let's look at the... Okay, here it is. Look at the first names. So we got one page for Mikako. Pretty short. No, we got all three, right? Here's page 1. Here's page 2. I don't know why I said one page. You have 3 pages. Third page. I presume that she's really tall. That's the idea, right? 181. Why is there... Is that a 4th page? Okay, wait a second. What in the world here? There's 4 pages? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. Well, I guess the 3rd page is run over, I guess. And then... we should have 1 page for... the surgeon. Inori. Well, Inori's the last name. Kanata is the first name. Oh yeah, she's first. Okay. I only got 1 page for Inori. And that's it. And then 1 page for Rei, right? And Rei is weird. She doesn't let you continue past 1 page, at least not in this chapter. Or there's something wrong with that particular event. Cool. What's this? These are truth bullets. So I'll just flip through them if you want to Google Translate these things. So I have the Monokuma file. I presume the burnness. The body. Or the lots of blood. It's the body. No, it's the stomach wound. Okay, it's the stomach wound. Inori's account, or Inori's autopsy, that is. Man, these descriptions are long. The 2 broken flashlights. The little x, little x, little x, big X. The hole in the window, which was weirdly clean. And oddly, you couldn't get light from the, it's just a weirdly clean hole in the window. Broken, like, electrical wire that appears, like, melted and stuff. Use the term fuse a lot in Google Translate. The cloth with a burnt corner. The raita, which means lighter. The note that was burnt that contains Yuki's secret, of all peoples. Blood stains leading towards the entrance of the switch room. The tripwire with Hatano's blood on it. Hatano getting wire trapped. The burnt, smoldering flashlight that Hatano was chasing after when she got wire trapped. Taira's account, where she says she was washing her clothes in the bathroom. Kinju's account, where it tells the story of, like, the sequence over which they discovered the body. Right, so, he made some discovery that isn't talked about yet, I don't think. So he's on the 2nd floor, and then Hatano said there was smoke coming out of the switch room, and so Hatano, Kinji, and him went to the switch room to put the fire out. They heard breaking glass as they approached the entrance of the switch room. He sent Kinji to go investigate the breaking glass, and then him and Hatano went into the switch room and discovered the body. Then the body discovery announcement went off. Something to note about that is, you might think, well, you need 2 people to set up the discovery announcement. Did in this game, in DRA, it leads you right to clarify that. Because I don't remember reading that in this game. I mean, that's the rule from, like, Danganronpa, but they're proper, but I don't know about this in this fan game. Something that the Danganronpa writers tend to do is, though, the rule about whether or not the blackened counts as one of those 2 people is flexible from situation to situation, depending on what makes it less likely for that to be evidence of who the blackened is. For example, the blackened doesn't count as someone who saw the body in the sense that the blackened's going to see the body before everybody else does because they did the killing. Right? And this kind of presumes that the blackened is still looking at them. They can kind of set up a slow death or something and then walk out and never see the dead body. But come on. Splitting hairs here. So you say, okay, well, the blackened can't count because they already saw it, so, you know, they don't count. I mean, it doesn't really, you can't have, it would be only one additional person to discover the body. But in the cases where the first 2 will discover the body, one of them is the blackened, like, it's like a self-report kind of situation. The blackened tends to count. Monokuma, like, changes the rules and says, okay, if the blackened kind of rediscovers their own dead body that they made, and is one of the two people that seems at first to be the two people to discover the body, they do count. And you don't get a third person, because if it takes 3 people to walk in before the body discovery announcement happens, that potentially could make it too obvious who it narrows it down to 3 people already. It's just too much of a hint. And we know it couldn't have been the third person. So it's like it narrows it down to 2 people, and it just is way too much of a hint. So it's like the black key doesn't count as the 2 people discover the body unless it would give too much of a hint if they did, essentially. Shards of glass. We don't know why the shards... Kinju thought the way the brass was broken was weird and mattered, but we had to figure out why that is. Utori's account that at nighttime at the end of day 2 of them eating breakfast together, during that nighttime, the flashlights, the lighter... It was not the lighter. Was it the lighter? It was the flashlights. I still don't remember the list of things. Probably the lighter. And the electrical stuff was taken from the antique shop. Like the electrical cables. What in the world is this? Do I have a truth bullet I didn't get yet? Okay, so we have another truth bullet that will get given to us during the trial. That's interesting. So that's what they are so far. Let's kick the trial off. No, it's not. Let's just save the game. In slot 13. And then we're going to end this recording without a prediction. So it's going to end it right here. To watch all that jankiness, thanks for watching it. Next recording, I'm going to do a different build.